See what's happening.
No stand for the globe.
It's probably in that basket.
Which ends up.
There you go.
That isn't that way.
Okay, we are live.
Oh no.
All right. Joyce says hello. I need to make a list.
I think that's a little camera, ain't it, William? That's
What?
that's a little camera, right?
That is it.
Were you here last week? I think it's just,
It was just me.
because I can hear Tom questioning, I don't.
How'd you know it was me?
He's still. Not really. I know some people think he was talking on that. They go something open, you probably something on it. The library's not open, you know, the career show's not open. I'm hopefully my new phone. Right. Hopefully my new phone comes. But T-Mobile's open now. Yeah. Got there. My 30-year-old daughter off with my phone. My son just put me on last year, so he put me and his boyfriend,
Joyce is at Lee Central all the time.
and his boyfriend's mother and me.
Okay,
And he's a paramedic, so he gets you just right.
I have a list. Check it twice. Gonna find out who's naughty and nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. All right. There's a pen if you need it. Good to go.
All right.
Oh, I trying to find you.
Well, that's mildly distracting.
Yep.
Good evening. My name is Tom, and I'll be your chairperson for this evening's service. Thank you for everyone taking part in Quiet Energy Work. Quiet Energy Work happens every Sunday. Before the service, your cooperation in building and maintaining this sacred space is greatly appreciated. Ron Holmes. Let us set the tone by intoning 3 ohms. Please open to the first page in your book, and we will say together the universal greeting. Opening prayer. I skipped a line. We will have an opening prayer led by Reverend William.
Divine oneness of being, ascended masters and teachers, our own personal guides and overlighting angels and guides to overlight, circle of light. Thank you for coming in closely this time. Thank you for working with us and through us. Whether we are here in person or connected via technology, we are all here energetically. Thank you for gathering us here today to do your work, so more to be.
Now please open to the first page of your book, and we will say together the universal greeting. If this is new to you, please watch the service workers to follow along with the interactive hand movements. I offer you peace. I offer you friendship. I offer you love. I hear your needs. I see your beauty. I feel your feelings. My wisdom flows from a higher source. I salute that source in you. Let us work together. Now turn to the next page in your book, and we will say together the 9 principles of spiritualism. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact, scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the Golden Rule. Whatsoever ye would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individual, and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul, here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing contained in all sacred texts are divine attributes proven through mediumship.
Yes. You're going to ask me if I want to do the talk. I'm going to say yes.
This evening's program will include an inspired talk by Reverend William.
So I was inspired. Talk about what is freedom, what is independence, what is liberty, I think it's important to consider stories like the ones that come from such horrible conditions like a concentration camp in Germany in World War II, in which a person whose standards of liberty are to simply think his or her own thoughts. If I can just maintain my own thoughts, I can get through this. We often think in terms of, in our society, liberties that are free from oppression of a person or a group of people, like a race of people or sex of people, etc., a type of people. I think it's really important. In fact, it's a vital part of the law of attraction to appreciate what you have. As Deborah said, an attitude of gratitude is a beatitude. It's important to celebrate the independence that we each have. Another thing Deborah said was, to be born at this time in this country, you're already way ahead of most of the world as far as liberties and freedom and things like that go. There are still a few places in the world where slavery is legal. Not many, and they're small places, but there are still places in the world where slavery is not outlawed. So I invite you today to celebrate the freedom you do have. It's also important to I'm inspired just right now to relate to a conversation I had this morning in which we talked about the middle way or the middle path as taught by the Buddha. Specifically in this situation, when or under what circumstances is it appropriate or necessary to act? And this conversation I had this morning with these mostly educated, smart people, there was about a dozen of us on there on a Zoom call. And it's so funny with this particular group, we tend to be more mental. And then somebody said something about emotions. And the whole group kind of went, oh yeah, it really depends on how you feel about it. If you feel motivated to go out and march for your rights or someone else's rights, who's to say you're wrong? So in that vein, I invite you to reflect upon what gets you motivated, what gets you fired up. What inspires you? That's all for now.
Thank you, Reverend William. We welcome your donations to help us maintain our presence in the community. You may donate via our website, www.circleoflight.org, or our Facebook page. For those who use Amazon, please consider using smile.amazon.com and choose Circle of Light Independent Spiritualist Church in St. Louis as your nonprofit. Amazon will give us a small donation at no cost to you. We also collect donations for the Southwest Indian Foundation, which provides stoves and food baskets to Native Americans during holiday season. Each year, we allocate funds to help them, and if you want to make a donation specifically for SWIFT, just tell us when you donate. Thank you for your donations. All funds received help us in our mission to seek, develop, and teach the knowledge of the relationship between humanity and spirit. The crystal globe displayed here is filled with prayer and energy for healing Mother Earth and all her children. Everyone is welcome to contribute prayers for world peace and world healing. We invite you to add your energies to this sacred sharing. We keep a wooden prayer request box. You are welcome to send us requests for healing. Throughout the week, light workers focus their energies on the prayers to add to this sacred act. We will now say the prayer for spiritual healing found on the next page, after which there will be a short silence for you to softly say the names of anyone that you would like to receive extra healing this week. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask the great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God. Once again, we thank you for your donations. No, wait, let's do current announcements.
Current announcements.
Announcements, please.
So while you're in the healing prayer mode, both of our Karens could use your extra energy. Reverend Karen is still, she's on, as far as I know, on track, doing well in her knee surgery recovery. And then Karen M is in the hospital with cellulitis. So please give them your love, understanding, compassion, healing energy, so they may have a full recovery. Any other announcements? We're postponing our meeting because of their absence. Normally, we have a meeting at the after service on the first Sunday of every month. Classes, Wednesday evenings here at 7. They're also available live online. We don't have recordings online. We might do that next time around, have recordings available for you to download. Right now, you can join us if you pay for the class online. Then I'll send you the link, invite you to the Facebook Messenger group, and we did class that way last week, and it worked quite well. But we're also here in person, so I will be here. Some of the students will be here. Some will be online. This will be the second class in the series. The first one is mindfulness. So if you've already had my mindfulness class anytime in the past 15 years I've been teaching it, you're welcome to join us Wednesday night for spirit communication. Then the following Wednesday will be meditation. So those are the next 2 classes we have coming up. Details on the Facebook page, also on our website. That's it for now. This month is also fire releasing, which I think is in 2 weeks. I announced that separately because a lot of people come just for that. They want to be here in person for that. It's fun.
It should be in my calendar if this thing will cooperate.
Right.
Let's see.
I think it's the 3rd Sunday. The last one of the, is there 5?
Yeah, it's the 17th.
Okay, the 17th is fire releasing. And then I think the one after that's the fireside chat, where we just chat. Okay, so that's stuff for July,
Stuff for July.
i.e. July stuff.
Got a text from my nephew that I'm not going to answer just yet. Now, Reverend William will lead us in a prayer over the offering.
Divine oneness of being that man calls God in all of your forms, thank you for inspiring us, and thank you for filling these gifts with your divine light and guidance, so mote it be.
So let it be. We now come to the message portion of the service. The message worker who will stand before you this evening actively develops his gifts so that he may be a clear channel for this work. Please actively listen to each message. As these come from universal source via our guides, they may be tailored to the individual, but deliver wisdom to the whole. Please address questions about messages to the message bearer after the service. To welcome each of our spirit workers, we sing together to raise the vibrations of our circle. We view the word God as a universal term for deity rather than signifying any one particular path.
sing a different song.
Singing a different song tonight.
Okay,
Have we rehearsed it?
Oh, I can't remember that has songs in it. Oops, it's in the book.
To welcome each of our spirit workers, we sing together to raise the vibrations of our circle, as I've already said.
Number one.
Let's welcome Reverend William with
Revised Battle Hymn.
the revised Battle Hymn of the Republic, which is in here.
Thought that was appropriate for
upside
today.
down.
Right. Mine eyes have seen the coming of an age that is to be, when from every limitation I shall know that I am free. For the age is rich in promise, and my soul has eyes to see. God's truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. God's truth is marching on. My soul has seen the beauty of a race from sorrow free, an age of faith and justice, truth and love and liberty. And I sing of love's great triumph in this time of jubilee. God's truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. God's truth is marching on. I have seen the freeborn woman standing side by side with man. I have seen the nations brought until there is no tribe or clan. And the warlords all have vanished in the love of man for man. God's truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. God's truth is marching on. Thank you very much. I'm Reverend William, working tonight. With Sarah, Mikael, Ellen, Thundercloud, Mary Jane, Arcturus. Wow, I actually have a list. Okay. Joyce H. Joyce will show you shoot an arrow at this target, hitting the bullseye, and honey drips out of the target. If you're like aiming for the sweet spot, what is this exactly? Okay, there is kind of this pun of like the sweet spot, but also the honey is the product of the worker bees. It's a product of labor, of work. So you, as far as like, thank you. And also we want to recognize, the golden honey that there's some symbolism deep in there. The golden honey, we talk about the gold, like the honey mead we use at communion for the Christed light. The short version is, Joyce, whatever you're doing, you are on target. You are definitely on the right track. And I wouldn't be surprised if even like this message seems like confirmation for something that's already happened, that yes, it really is as good as you think it is. Veronica S. Oh boy. Okay. the little leprechaun says, "Just me and my lucky charms." And these charms or luck. I mean, let's clarify something here. There's no such thing as random. Therefore, there's no such thing as luck in the traditional way people think of it. There is good fortune or creation. So what we're saying here, these lucky charms have as much luck as you believe they have. So, like Journey says, don't stop believing. Keep putting your mind, your mental and emotional energy into that good fortune or good outcome. Tammy C. Okay, so the C became a ball, which became a boulder, and you're pushing up a hill, and you have this sudden awareness that you've been pushing this boulder up this hill just because it's what you're used to doing. And there's really, once the boulder's up the hill, nothing's going to change. So you have this realization you've been wasting your energy. You're putting your energy into something that's not going to get you what you want. So now the realization is you can walk away from it. You don't have to push this boulder up the hill. It's just futile. So good for you. Walk away. Do what you really want to do. William E. So William, I'm you, and I'm by a campfire, and the smoke is in my face. I'm just like, man, and Spirit goes, get your ass in that campfire. That's how they said it to me. They want you to step right in that campfire and do what you came there for. This avoidance of the smoke, it's a distraction. It's a distraction from what you're really there for. So step right into the campfire. That nuisance of the smoke is nothing once you get in the fire and start transforming, start burning away the paper covering. Libby L. So Libby L became Liberty Bell, and that, the Liberty Bell, the crack in it, and it's like they're standing here next to you going, isn't that just perfectly appropriate? That the Liberty Bell has a crack in it. Nothing is perfect. As the theme of the day, the holiday and the meditation today about liberty and freedom, it's completely and totally subjective. Like what was mentioned earlier with the concentration camp, like that person's idea of freedom is just to be able to keep some modicum of sanity to think his own thoughts. And somebody else's idea of freedom is much more liberated, if you will. I'm not sure the right word. But so this Liberty Bell being cracked is completely appropriate. It's like, or maybe even ironic at how hilarious the universe is in the cracking that Liberty Bell. There's nothing to be fixed. It doesn't need to be repaired. Just accept it. Jamie B. Jamie, there's these vines growing up this brick wall. And you are in the position of deciding whether the vines are going to damage the wall, if they need to come down, or if they're a nice addition. And Spirit's saying, quit focusing on the vines or the ivy and focus on the wall. See the difference? Focus on the structural integrity of the wall and whether you really need it or not. That was Jamie, right? Rebecca. That's funny. And that's an old term. You ever heard that term, smoke them if you got them? Like, right before we go into battle, we're going to smoke our cigarette because it might be the last one. But in your message, this, like a person kind of off camera says, smoke them if you got them, and you smoke your cigarette and get in your car and take off real fast. Okay, so it's not so much a battle or conflict as it is not really a race as it is rushing into something. Like, okay. So you have an opportunity to smoke that cigarette. It's even funny saying that because smoking a cigarette oftentimes would be something negative in a message. But this is about like your opportunity to enjoy something important to you right before you rush in to, oh, that's right, plus, right. I know what you do for a living. So this is like responding to an emergency. This is rushing in to save the day. So I want to be clear about this. This is not Spirit saying like smoke that last cigarette because you're going to die or something. What's the word? Cryptic or it's not like impending doom. The feeling about it's totally fine. I don't feel like you're rushing into something dangerous. I just feel like Spirit's telling you to enjoy the break while you have it. Rachel O. Rachel. Oh my gosh. What is this, like the early 80s when there's this Olympic athlete, Mary Lou Retton, did these cheesy ass commercials, which she'd do like these flips and you go, energize me. And it was like an Energizer, I think it was an Energizer commercial. Anyway, what they're saying with this is energy comes from doing. So this idea of like, I'll get up and do something when I have the energy is just completely faulty thinking. Get up and do something. Get the energy moving. I like to use the word prime the pump. All you start pumping and the water will flow. You may not see it right away, but you got to start pumping. If you say, well, I'll do this or that once the energy comes, it's backwards thinking. Just get up and do something. Spirit's quite adamant about it. Allison R. Okay, you have a small vegetable garden. Well, small by my standards. A vegetable garden. And it just looks picture perfect. Rows are nice and straight, no weeds, it looks staged. It looks so good. And it doesn't last long. A day or two later, you see a weed, rabbits get in there or whatever. And what Spirit is saying is like, stuff's going to happen. You can accept it as part of the gardening experience, or you can be pissed about it. Your choice. Your harvest is never 100%. All right. There's always stuff that gets, like I said, eaten by rabbits or whatever. There's always going to be a little bit to sacrifice. I think so. There you go. So instead of thinking of it as a loss, or like I should have done this, I should have set rabbit traps, right? I should have done the bug poison, or I should have done this, I should have done that. Just say, I am so happy and grateful for the lettuce that I do have. I'm so happy and grateful for the beans and okra and carrots that I do. And so, garden, produce, that which you produce, your production, there's always going to be a little bit of a sacrifice. Victoria B. Okay. Okay. They're using the example of the show Stranger Things. I hope you've watched it. If not, I'll find another way to explain it. Okay, I'm going to talk to Victoria directly. Victoria B. The upside down is real. Not like it is in the show, but that other world is real. You've seen it. You've seen evidence of it. It's no use denying its existence. Allow yourself to contemplate the implications of that. Allow yourself, I like that term, just like I said it, allow yourself to contemplate the implications of that. If this exists, then ... What else is out there or in here? And you can do that objectively. You don't have to go there, nothing to be scared of. Just there's something for you in that exploration, that mental exploration. And as we say in the service, any questions about messages, contact me. Angie J. Yeah, it'd be really neat if angels appeared like they do in, even biblical descriptions and movies and stuff, where it's blinding light and blah, 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 blah. Probably not. Angel, the real life is more like the Lord works in mysterious ways. These angels sneak in and sneak out. And it's perfectly it's perfectly appropriate for you to recognize that. So, just say thank you. Trust your feelings, I guess, is a simple way to say it. But when just say thank you. Just say thank you. That's all there is to it. That, when you receive that blessing or gift or whatever, just say thank you and keep going. Okay, so there's a bigger thing here. Sorry. I still do mantras sometimes. I was really into doing mantras there for a while, doing mantras all the time. And I said to myself or whatever, I want a mantra of thank you. I looked, I didn't see I couldn't find a mantra that was like for saying thank you. And Spirit told me, just use what you're getting. That's your thank you. I give you, Angie, I give you the same message as given to me. When you receive that, put it to use. That's the thank you. Mercy. We know that your attention is filled with concerns, some personal, some bigger for the world, people around you, etc. Okay. The best thing, the most efficient or effective use of your energy is make yourself as powerful as possible. And that's the word. Make yourself as powerful as possible. When you give away your energy with concern, worry, etc., you're not helping anybody really. You're much, much more effective by making yourself as powerful as possible. How do I do that? Great question. Accept who you really are and quit denying it. That's how you become powerful. Emily W. Okay, you're singing row, row, row your boat, but you're not rowing, you're fishing. So you're in a little fishing boat. You're fishing, it's beautiful, calm water. You're singing row, row, row your boat. And you have a great attitude about it. You're not even like intently fishing. It's not like I hope I get a fish. It's like Emily's just enjoying the beautiful morning. And what Spirit is saying is that's exactly the right thing to do right now. Is I got it. Okay. Like Emily, there's no need to change your lure or change your strategy or move your boat or anything. They will come. The fish will come. Okay. Just maintain your course. Karen, Reverend Karen. Okay, so this is kind of an interesting perspective. You're looking at this book, and it's like there was actually a book called, was it called Worst Case Scenario? It was this book that basically described how to get out of these life-threatening situations, and it was totally serious. Like if you're being chased by a bear or a crocodile or falling out of an airplane, like all kinds of stuff, and like to just survive, okay? And Karen is looking at this book going, well, I'm never going to be in those situations. And Spirit's kind of like leaning up against your shoulder going, Yeah, but it's still good to be responsive, to be aware, to have situational awareness, and to be able to respond. Karen M. There's a tornado on the horizon. Huh. I see a similarity between these. Maybe you do too. What they're showing me is there's a tornado on the horizon, and you're looking out there like, oh, that's way far away. That's not going to come to us. And maybe even you're using your technology, looking at the radar map or whatever, and saying, see, it's going east and we're south or whatever. Still close the windows and go to the basement. Why chance it? Why a tornado? Okay. So I would normally attribute a tornado to your own twisted or chaotic thoughts. Okay. But they're saying this is more about you like maintaining the structural integrity of your house. And your house is your mind. So these, we'll call them like chaotic thoughts from other sources, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Okay, like it's easy to tell yourself they're not affecting you and they're not going to affect you, but Spirit says it's good advice to batten down your hatches, close your windows. You don't have to be scared, but you definitely can use common sense. Connie. Okay, so using this scene has been used in a multitude of movies. I call it the gearing up scene. When the hero puts on his uniform, or the military, like in I don't know, tons and tons of military person, puts on all the gear, the bulletproof vest, and this and that, and the guns and grenades and knives and blah blah. Like I'm gonna have every possible option. And Spirit, it's like it's a lot of junk to carry. So it's your choice. You may feel like you're going into battle. Okay, it's more like you want to be prepared for anything. And Spirit, what Spirit's telling you here, Connie, is like you're smarter than you think. You're smarter than you give yourself credit for. If you really want to carry all that stuff, that's your choice. But you'd also be fine just taking a couple of lightweight tools and trusting your intuition and your brain and your mind. Okay, Lois. Okay, so they went from your sparkly shirt to fireworks to the number 4 to 4 representing stability and structure, like 4 walls or 4 sides, anyway, stability and structure. And that they would like you to contemplate how you create stability and structure for yourself. Susan? They're showing you observing smoke and then becoming the smoke. And you like learn how to become the smoke, and then you move yourself. It's like in a movie or something. It's like she's gone and she appears over here. So Spirit invites you to contemplate, is kind of contemplate or study some experiences you've had, maybe in your dreams, maybe not in your dreams, maybe in meditation. But there is certainly some new developments coming for you. Tom. So they're showing you, they're taking that smoke, and then there's smoke, there's water, these things that are fluid and moving and beautiful, and you are doing some kind of like Tai Chi or something that emulates that movement, this flow, this ability to just beautiful movement, and then you go or mountain like this, like kind of squatting down, hands on knees, and you can be the very movable fluid element here or immovable mountain. And there are, and it's up to you to use your experience and wisdom to know what's appropriate. If I want to be, fluid and moving or mountain. Okay. Thank you for allowing me to stand to these rules.
Meditation of this evening's service.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, sorry.
Have you shifted gears? will be presented by Reverend William.
Thank you for joining us. We invite you to assume a relaxed yet attentive position, whether seated or laying down, whatever works for you. Start by giving your attention to your breath. Observe your breath. Notice where your attention goes in your body. When any distraction occurs, simply release it, free of judgment. Keep bringing your attention back to your breath. Give your body permission to relax. Allow all the cares and concerns of the everyday world to float away like bubbles. If any of those things are truly important, they will come back later. For now, we can just let them all go. As your attention turns further and further inward, you may step outside of yourself and say, what's the right way to meditate? How should I be doing this? What did I read in that book? What did that video tell me? The busy mind, the protective personality wants these answers. If you step back a bit further, you'll see they are irrelevant. Release them with love and compassion. You are free. You are free to meditate as you like. You are free to breathe as you like. You are free to think your thoughts. You are free to give and receive energy. You are free to respond. Observe what happens when you release those questions and conditions, the shoulds. Does it feel good? Does it feel right? If not, then you are looking for structure. This is a safe place. When we sit down here together, our guides establish a safe place. A safe place for you to discard your trash. A safe place for you to dump your garbage. A safe place for you to ask questions. A safe place for you to explore in every dimension, inwardly and outwardly. A safe place for you to practice trust. A safe place for you to step into the unknown. Observe that feeling. Would you call that freedom? Is freedom when you feel safe to be who you are, go where you want to go? Indeed. If this is true, then you are, and we each are, as free as we believe we are. What do we know from experience? It takes two people to tell a lie. One to tell it, one to believe it. That is why a fundamental, essential step towards freedom is forgetting what you think you know. We put limitations on ourselves for that sense of safety and structure and security. As our knowledge and experience builds our self-confidence and self-esteem, we don't need the outside structure anymore, do we? Our world literally, figuratively, inwardly, and outwardly expands. That's why learning your fundamentals is the foundation, the definition of fundamental, part of your practice. It's been said many ways. Chop wood, carry water. Practice your free throws. whatever arena you are in, you rely on your fundamentals. Many wise people have said the greatest quest is know thyself. The greatest question you can ask is, who am I? You are exactly who you believe you are. Your identity is completely and totally founded in your beliefs. Therefore, the ultimate freedom lies in changing those beliefs. Having the wisdom to know which ones really need to change. Knowing which beliefs aren't really the core of who you are. How easily or efficiently you change those beliefs correlates directly and precisely with your attachment to those beliefs. And there's the rub. You are embarking on this process. You are releasing the things that even from here you can tell don't really resonate with who you are. And you shave away or chip away or release and release and release. There comes a moment at which you realize, oh, there's not much left. Who am I? What if I disappear? What if who I believe I am doesn't even exist? What if it doesn't? Identify right now where that voice comes from. Who's asking those questions? the personality. The personality that wants to survive, wants to exist. There's that part of the personality called the ego, whose job it is solely and completely your survival. The ego wants that identity to survive. Therefore, if you want to progress, the ego must be integrated. Incorporate your ego, your protective personality, as an ally. Ego, personality, self, you and I are going to team up and continue on this path and see what's really in there. So instead of being afraid of loss, instead of being afraid of disappearing, I want you to have the courage. I empower you now with the courage to dissolve into something greater. I empower you with the courage to be a part of something much more than you can imagine. I invite you to transform. You can do that right now in your mind. Your higher self can write a beautiful invitation to your personality self. I invite you, dear personality self, you are cordially invited to join me and be a part of something greater. In this process, you'll have to forget who you think you are. But I guarantee where we're going is infinitely better and more beautiful. Imagine now bringing this new consciousness into your everyday waking life. Imagine no more duality, but being your true self, not just in the ideal conditions of meditation, but all the time. Imagine it and make it so. Bring this new level of awareness, this consciousness, into the present. Walk into your present life with this new consciousness, a new way of thinking, a new way of being. Make it so now. With the awareness that this is a process. You can come back here anytime. Each time making it more and more real. Each time releasing more and more of who you think you are and becoming more and more of who you really are. Expand your awareness and notice your own guides and spirit. Contributing their wisdom and energy to your endeavor. Remember, the universe conspires to fulfill your desires. With that knowledge, bring your attention to your physical time and place. Inhabit your physical vehicle once again. Choose to be in the world, but not of the world. And choose to embrace your fellow travelers and yourself with love and compassion. Bring your attention finally and completely to the physical realm, all the way down to the soles of your feet, out to your fingertips and up to the top of your head. And when you're ready, please open your eyes.
And now Reverend William will lead us in our closing prayer.
divine oneness of being, ascended masters and teachers, our own personal guides and guides over light, circle of light. Thank you once again for working with us and through us this day. And thank you for shedding your divine light upon our individual and collective paths. So want it be.
So about it be. Thank you all for being in our circle of light. Please stand with us in unity as we sing together, "Let there be peace on earth." Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me, let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Oh.